you proved to me that I should get excited. I am not getting myself excited.
Yeah, I quite like that.
That's what she said.
Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. This is Uncensored. My name is Joe and that is Adam McKola. And it is the first time we have spoken after a new dawn, the end of an era at Manchester United. Adam, you've been in hiding for a little while. You took the hit pretty hard about Ten Hag. Talk to me about how you're feeling right now, what it is to be a Manchester United fan, and what it even is to be alive after what we've seen this week.
Yeah, I mean, I took the international break off. I thought I'd have a little quiet one on the international break, and then as soon as we come back after that, the shit really did hit the fan. To be fair, I knew the writing was on the wall after the Spurs game for Eric Ten Hag. Maybe they even made their mind up before that, but if they hadn't, I think from that game they knew that they were going to replace the manager. Obviously, he survived the international break when maybe we thought he wouldn't, and then the performance after that, just not good enough, really. I know we missed a lot of chances in that game, but besides that game, where we missed a load of chances and we had that penalty decision, I think overall it's been pretty poor. 9 or 10 games into the league season, we're still 14th, we're 21st in the Europa League group. Like, it doesn't look good, and I think a change needed to be made. Whilst a big chunk of the season's gone, you can still salvage something. We're still in 3 competitions. We can still salvage something. So I think a decision had to be made, but I just hate going through this whole... It had to be made, so obviously the decision has to be done. But I just hate the cycle of it all, because obviously when we're sacking a manager, that means we've failed, and something's gone wrong along the way, and it kind of brings us further away from being champions again, which is the goal, really. We haven't been champions since 2013. It's been a long 11, 12 years it's going to be. So we need to change that and change that quickly. It's the first big decision for INEOS. I'm surprised they made it so quickly, but I suppose with them having the time that they had, with them probably making their mind up after Spurs, then it makes sense for them to have done their due diligence. And I haven't really got excited about Amorim yet. I haven't really thought about it. I just feel like here we go. Like I said on the overlap, like, oh shit, here we go again. Like, it's just that cycle. But obviously you hope things can be different because it's the first new manager with INEOS for the full tenure.
Yeah.
And the full, and you hope, whilst I think, sorry, I'm rambling on here.
No, I want to hear it.
Whilst I think INEOS whilst I think it's, we're changing managers and stuff, it's their first big decision. I also think they've been quite good in what they've done so far. So maybe there should be a room for a little bit of excitement that, this is their first guy. They have shown positive signs so far, even if we all feel a little bit fed up at the moment and we feel like our patience is wearing thin. Like, it is just the start. Like, most of these guys got in place in July, so they weren't even part of that decision to keep Eric Ten Hag. So yeah, let's see, man. Let's see. It's a bit depressing though. Ten Hag gone. Little Baldy.
Sad, isn't it? It's sad.
He could have been sacked so many times though.
I know he could.
7-0,
Yeah.
5-0, 4-0 Palace. Maybe just giving him the old Lenny and George treatment after the cup final was the one.
Do you know what? I think 2 reasons why.
Obviously, in hindsight, because at the time I said keep.
I think 2 reasons why they shouldn't have done that.
What the fuck's all this?
It's not coming up on our camera, it's just on the Zoom call. So people didn't see that at home. When I did 2 reasons, for some reason loads of balloons just filled the screen. Actually,
and again,
we'll put that cut in there, actually. We can show that. I think there's 2 reasons.
What?
I think there's 2 reasons why they had to keep
2 reasons.
him. I think there's 2 reasons why they had to keep him.
What? It keeps happening.
The first one is...
2 reasons.
It only does it when I do it. 2 reasons. There we go. Which is so disrespectful to Eric Ten Hag, by the way, Zoom. I think there's 2 reasons why they had to keep him. The first one is he deserved it after winning the FA Cup. And I know that people say it's too sentimental, this, that and the other. You're allowed to be a bit sentimental. It's a football club. It's not just a business. I don't mind giving someone a chance to prove yourself another season. I get that. And the other one is if they hadn't have sacked him, everyone would be saying, Should have given him more time. He just won the FA Cup. Should have given. People talk about Van Gaal like that. People talk about Solskjaer like that. Jose like that. People would have said if you'd have given him more time, he could have turned it around. I think now more so, people know that he probably wasn't going to. I think you gave him that room.
I suppose when you don't give someone that time that maybe they've earned, it adds extra pressure onto the new manager because there's still that swell of opinion that he should have, the other managers should have been kept.
Yeah.
Look, I said, but at the same time, I kind of don't agree with the sentiment that after he won the FA Cup, you had to keep him. I was saying before the cup final, no matter what happens, we should keep him.
Okay.
Like, I wanted to see him with the new structure in place and all those kind of things. You shouldn't make your decision based off 90 minutes.
No, but it's also...
Or 120 minutes, because anything can happen.
It is,
losing doesn't mean you should sack him. Winning doesn't mean you should sack him. Like, you should base your decision off more than just 90 minutes, off everything.
Well, I think when I say the cup final, what I mean really is the fact that we've won 2 trophies in 2 years, the cup run in general, beating Liverpool, beating City, and that culminated in that day. I would have kept him before the cup final as well, but I mean the fact that we'd won the FA Cup and we'd won the Carabao the year before is more what I meant. But yeah, it shouldn't be based on any one single game. What were your thoughts when you heard the news? Were you shocked? Were you sad? Were you disappointed? Were you optimistic?
We were filming the podcast live. Not live, but we were filming the podcast as the club podcast, as it broke, and I felt weird. Like, I felt a sense of relief, but I also felt sadness. I also felt surprised because I didn't expect it. Like, whilst I expected him to get, does this sound weird? Whilst I expected him to get sacked, I didn't expect to hear it.
Yeah,
on Monday.
I completely agree with that. I feel exactly the same. Like,
it did catch me off guard a little bit.
Yeah. I didn't think it
would
would
be. When Rory initially said it, I thought it was blagging.
Yeah. Well, we saw there was that tweet, wasn't there, from Romano, and then it was Ornstein where you're like, right, okay, it's done. And then about 2 minutes after that, all within about 8 minutes, Romano, then Ornstein, then United confirmed it.
I never seen Romano's. I just seen Ornstein.
Yeah.
I only had the notifications on him.
He's the one. He's your chosen one, isn't he?
Ornstein, you're the one. You still turn me on. Oh, Welbeck should have come home again, We'll
talk about that in a minute. I was going to bring that up with you, but I want to stick with the manager first because it looked like United could have signed Danny Welbeck in the summer. Moving on then, we'll go into the next era of Manchester United, the current era, the Ruud Van Nistelrooy era. Do you feel a little bit guilty that he's probably going to leave United after joining 3 months ago? Do you wish we could have seen more of him? Do you think that he could be a valuable member of Amorim's background team?
I don't know, because Amorim has his own team in it. I don't want a new manager to feel like he has to keep someone. Mm-hmm. Although, in an ideal world, Amorim meets Ruud, gets to know him and likes him, and he keeps him as part of his team, because I do like Ruud Van Nistelrooy. I do like, whilst I don't think you just should have like jobs for mates type thing, I do like that link to our glorious past. And I do think, obviously, he's someone that has a bright future in coaching or management, and he's shown that already, and maybe he can do something for us. His heart's obviously in it. It was nice to see, it was mad. I thought the game against Leicester was at 8 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah.
So I was walking down Sir Matt Busby Way at 7:45, and I was like, oh my God, it's kicking off. And by the time...
So you missed him walking out and everything?
I missed all that. But then as I've walked up the steps, so I have to walk up the steps and then turn up the other steps to go to my seat.
Yeah.
But then just as I've turned, I've looked over my shoulder at the pitch. Because I don't know, I just felt a sense. And I looked over and I seen Casemiro just release that shot.
Oh.
And it was the first bit of action I'd seen. Like, it was quite fun. It was quite good. 7 goals in the game. I thought the Garnacho goal was really good.
Yeah, it was.
Bruno's goal, although capitalising off a mistake, was really good. The second one. It's a shame we couldn't kind of get a few more goals. I wanted Marcus to get a goal. That would have been nice, and maybe Xerxes or Højlund. I thought, Ruud was going to give Harry a massive debut.
Yeah.
Because, when you can be the manager that gave someone their debut and they could potentially go on to have a bright future and career and stuff. I thought he'd be I thought he would give him the debut, you know. But maybe he knew he was going to be here for a little bit longer, and there's still chance for that.
Yeah, because you've still got PAOK as well, which should be a bit easier. You've got Leicester in the league again as well, so there's chance to give people a bit. I thought he was going to do the same as well. He's always got that on his CV, Tim Sherwood, Harry Kane style. I gave Amas his debut, but he didn't do that. What did you make of the performance? Did it frustrate you? Did it annoy you that we all of a sudden...
We arguably could have seen a similar performance under Ten Hag against that Leicester team.
I agree.
Like, of course, like, what I hate, is, you know, when people go, this team have got another manager sack. Like, 60% of the squad was signed by Erik Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Like, very few players were here under Ollie and Van Aert. You know what I mean? Like, that nonsense has to stop. And also, I think it kind of... And people go, oh, they pulled their thumbs out their arse and put in a performance. I think football and sport at this... I'm not going to say at this level, like I'm a part of that level, but at that level is... So much of it is mental. Like, so much of it is that. And having someone speak... This is where... I wanted to ask your opinion on this as well, actually. Like, I feel Ten Hag lost the job off... Maybe his personality. Maybe, you know, like a politician, like being able to just maybe sometimes blag, but get away with it.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe like just being able to speak sometimes and that's one of the things I'm looking for in Amorim is like, one, because whilst we were all behind Ten Hag, did he really build that connection with the fan base? Like in the ground, was there that buzz? Was there that energy? Was all of that there? I don't think so. And I think Ruben Amorim kind of, one, dominating the press and being able, like, I was pleased to see he speaks English. Being able to deal with those kind of things with humour. When
you say dominating the press, do you mean the media? Or not like pressing on the pitch? You mean like the written press?
The media, you know, being able to control that, because it's a big part. And delivering your message to the players, not only in team talks and in the dressing room and on the training pitch, but also through the media and in the press representing us. And I think maybe Ten Hag lost a little bit of that. Like, you look at the last 12 months, a lot of it was like, I don't think he ever chucked his players under the bus. So it's not that. And I think these players were playing for him. So I don't think they like kind of threw their toys out of their pram. Like, I think they were trying for this guy. I just think maybe a little bit tactically, he went against his own ways in some ways, like maybe lost some of his principles and his values. But also, like, just being able to rally the troops. And whilst you might want to play for someone and you might like them and, you know, you might want to win, being motivated and being built up and, you know, having that is important. So, yeah, I find people that say those kind of things, like, you're basically saying a manager's irrelevant then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you go, oh, these players are playing now, it's like you're saying... So a manager's job is irrelevant. So Fergie wasn't great at what he did. Like, because a manager's so important to kind of delivering the message, getting the message across, rallying the troops, keeping the fan. Like, they've got to do so much. And if you fail at that part, then I think the rest of it kind of is easy to just lose the grip of.
There's definitely something to that, because there's no coincidence that a lot of the great leaders and the great sportsmen and the great managers of all time are also phenomenal public speakers and are phenomenal at getting their message across. That's all walks of life. Great politicians, great sort of, kind of human rights activists, people like, they all can stand and deliver their message in a way that gets people excited and you want to buy into it. That is definitely a part of management, getting people to agree with what you think and listen to what you think. Because I think Ten Hag knows football. I don't think there's any doubt that he knows how to set up a team, how to win football matches. But I do think there was definitely an issue of getting people to believe in him and getting people to sort of understand what he was saying. I don't necessarily mean from a language perspective, but just from maybe a charisma perspective. I do worry, though, that, like, I don't know, I feel like, is this going to be a thing of, like, people said, oh, his English wasn't particularly great, like, can we not have a foreign manager then? Bielsa did wonderful things with Leeds, and he could barely speak English. Shouldn't be too much.
I don't think his English was a problem.
Okay.
But I'm just saying it is important.
Yeah, I think it is important as well.
being Manchester United manager just encapsulates so much, and I think the pressure. Like, look at Mourinho. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes I think he lost it by just what he said. Like, what he said, how he said it.
Yeah.
He's a great manager, you know. Like Van Gaal, maybe. Like, obviously, sometimes I think and the tactics have been poor from Ten Hag. Don't get me wrong, but I think that's just a small part of it. And I think Ruben Amorim kind of. I'm glad he's kind of young and vibrant. I mean, we'll probably batter that out of him.
Oh,
in a
yeah.
year. I'm glad he's young and vibrant though, and like, you know, seems to have a sense of humor. Seems to be able to bounce back and forwards with the press. Obviously, when you've lost a few games, that can be different. You know, you're pulling your hair out on the sidelines. But I just feel like being Manchester United manager, you have to be statesman-like.
Yeah.
Fergie was like a mafia boss.
Yeah, it was. To the point where he would do things at times that were a little bit horrible. But he always had a grip and a control of everything that he sort of looked over. And the other thing as well, do you know when you get a manager, and especially who's managed in Europe, and that first like winter, things start going wrong, they lose their tan as well, do you know, because he's living in Portugal and he's got that like glow about him. He's going to lose that in the Manchester weather, and he's going to be sat there, he's no charisma anymore, he's looking a bit pale, and all of a sudden you're going, is he? Maybe he's not the guy either. Remember Ten Hag came in, that tan suit, nice crisp tan, everything's popping off, and then all of a sudden 6 months or a year later it's a bit
You know what
sure
I
about
thought?
this
Yeah.
guy.
I thought with Ruben, you know, a pre-season tour when we hardly get a question at pre-season.
Yeah.
I think because I look a bit, we might get a few more. You know, like, he might look at me and think, "Rah, what? Go on," and then he's gonna expect me to say something in Portuguese. But really,
Do you think you look like Ruben Amorim? Do you look like
No.
Ruben Amorim?
I look like we're of the same kind of, like, you know, if you're on Grand Theft Auto or Pro Evolution and you're making a character,
Yeah.
would be in the same kind of park, like, you know,
Yeah.
We'd be in the same area of the thing, like the skin tones and the beards and all that. Like,
Yeah, hair
they're all
colour,
very-
skin tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe there is something to that. Maybe I never thought about it.
Maybe he'd be like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Yeah, him from the Portuguese press at the back there. What's he got to say? And you're like,
him from our Stretford Paddock.
yeah, exactly, yeah. That's going to be good, though. Hopefully it'll get us a few more questions in there. Uncensored is brought to you by our great friends, Manscaped. And you all know Manscaped, but they are the leaders in below-the-belt grooming. That's just a fact. And they've brought out the brand new beard hedger to go alongside their fantastic collection of products. Now, what is the beard hedger? I mean, it tells you on the tin, really. It is the way to get your beard looking sensational. With 20 different length options, you can sculpt, you can gradient, you can put a little fade in there, you can get a little mullet on your own chin if you want to. That's how much customization is available with the beard hedger. And using our code Paddock24, you can get 20% off and free shipping at checkout. The link is in the description. Go and check them out. But it's not just the beard hedger. Of course, there is always the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra to take care of downstairs. And this is a huge upgrade on the already phenomenal 4.0. Now there are two interchangeable blades. You've got the classic trimmer and the brand new foil blade to go closer than ever. And this is a little trick I like to do. Do you know MC Escher, the guy with the infinite staircase? It's all about perspective, put it that way. If you want to get the shadows in the right area, you can probably double the size of that thing if you really know what you're doing in terms of forcing perspective. It's literally that good. And the customization, again, is almost endless. Not to mention the fact that there's a multifunctional on-off switch, meaning you can turn it off and then lock it, so it's not going to go off in your bag when you're traveling, when you're on holiday. The last thing you want going through that security scanner at the airport is some weird buzzing object in your bag, and you don't have to worry about that with the Lawnmower. It's not just the multifunctional off switch. I'm swallowing because my mouth is watering at how tantalizing these products are. There's a light on it, so you can do it in the dark. It's waterproof, so you can do it in the rain, or the shower, as some people call it. If you want to do it in the middle of the woods, on your own property, in the rain, you can. You're not going to get electrocuted, and with the skin-safe technology, you're not going to get cut either. Again, use the code Paddock24 for 20% off and free shipping. The link is in the description. Go and check them out. Manscaped, your balls will thank you. What have you made of him? How much research have you done on him?
Maybe that just works for one, and then we've got we've wasted it because he sees I'm a
it
fucking
completely
idiotic
destroys
Brummy.
our relationship afterwards. Yeah, that's great. What do you make of him? I know you mentioned his charisma, but from a sort of managerial perspective, his career so far, what he sort of does with his teams, do you like him? Are you excited?
Joe,
Say it.
I am so over everything.
Yeah.
I'm building no expectations.
Oh, no.
I'm building no hopes, no dreams. I am letting the manager woo me.
I like that.
This is my new take in life.
Okay, talk me through it.
You proved to me that I should get excited. I am not getting myself excited.
Yeah. I quite like that.
That's what she said.
I'm the opposite. I arrive excited. Yeah.
Yeah, you arrived chopped up.
I'm already wearing a condom in my jeans. That's how excited I am, right? But I appreciate that at this point, what is this, our 5th, 6th permanent manager? Every one of them has had good spells as well. So it's not like we've, other than David
Every
Moyes.
one of them's been, they're great.
Yeah, I know.
Ten Hag, I'm not comparing him tactically as people as anything, but Ten Hag was like seen as the upcoming guy.
Yeah, I know.
And now look at him, stressed out. Ruben Amorim is seen as that up-and-coming guy. But let's see what happens, innit? Obviously, I'm behind him. I'm going to be singing Ruben Amorim's Red and White Army. I'm not saying I'm not behind him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not in full support of him and, going to give him the same time of giving every other manager and stuff like that. But I'm just a little bit... Can't be arsed with all that hope anymore.
Oh, that's one of the saddest things I've ever heard. You just can't do it.
I can't do it to myself anymore. I've got nothing left.
It is horrible, isn't it? And the people like rejoicing and reveling in Ten Hag getting
people
sacked.
That feel like me though. Surely
There definitely is. There definitely is. That numbness.
Numbness, yeah.
Localized numbness. It's tough. It's really tough though, isn't it? Because every time we get our hopes up, it looks good for a year. And basically, we're going to have to wait 2 years or maybe 2.5 years until we know whether Amorim was a better appointment than Ten Hag or Solskjaer or Jose or Van Gaal. Because none of them, all of those managers I've just mentioned had certain years that were very good or quite good. None of them were just a failure from the start except Moyes. So we won't even know, Amorim could come in.
Even we had the 4-1 win over Swansea where you thought.
Yeah, exactly.
We were going to win the league.
Amorim is probably going to come in, let's say he could we go mad this season, finish top 4. Even that isn't guaranteed that he's going to be the next guy.
See? I'm glad that, because I don't want to see Ruud Van Nistelrooy just sacrificial little lamb and we slaughter him in front of everyone. That's just...
Why would it be in front of everyone?
Because that's what happens when you're in the management. Look what we did to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer,
yeah.
And if we hadn't agreed Amorim already, we would have beat Leicester and everyone would have been saying, give Ruud the job. And it would have just been, so sad. But what's going to happen now is Ruud's going to win the next 3 games. We'll probably draw the first game with Amorim and everyone will be like, we should have kept Ruud.
Yeah.
Could just already seen it.
It's hard, isn't it? It's a tough life being a United fan.
This is what we deserve for all those years of success.
No, it don't work like that. We just deserve more success. That's what I say. Looking through the squad,
maybe he's the one. Maybe
he is. And maybe it's more down to what's going on around him than actually him. Like the environment that he's come into. I know INEOS haven't been here that long yet, but they can support him. They can manage this squad, manage the football club in a way that no manager in the last sort of 20 years has had at Manchester United since the Glazers came in. A functional team where he's just allowed to manage the club, manage the players, manage training, manage tactics, and everything else is done for him. Do you think that, are you hopeful that it's not just about whether he's good enough, but the system that he's coming into might now be good enough where it wasn't before?
And you look at I've seen a lot of people speak differently about it, yeah. But I actually think we've got a good squad. And if he's going to play this 3-4-3, I hate all this talk, by the way. Ruben Amorim's going to stick to his 3-4-3 if he comes in. He's not going to change. Of course he's not. Why would we want him to come in and just change? Stick to your guns. Obviously, you got to adapt to the league, the opposition, everything. but stick to your guns. You don't need to change. Like, I don't get that. Like, why do people need to change for Manchester United? We're appointing these managers for them to be themselves, for the reason why they've been successful so far, and hope that they can adapt that, obviously, to some expectations that we have. But also, our expectations are so low right now. Just let him do his thing, man. Shut up. Like, oh,
I agree.
God.
I hope it's clear that the
But my
squad
point
is
was
his.
before that.
Yeah.
The squad is actually quite good. If he wants to play a back three, you got Lenny Oro, Lisandro Martinez, and Matis Deligt, which I think is a great three. I think also Harry Maguire could thrive in a back three if you really wanted him to. Johnny Evans is still Johnny Evans, the man. And Lindelof's still about. So you've got 6 centre backs that can play. Then you've got, I think, the 2 that would sit in front of them. You've got a selection of Kobbie Mainoo, Casemiro, Ugarte. I think outside of the Liverpool game, I think Casemiro has actually been pretty good this season. I think Ugarte showed signs, albeit against a poor Leicester team.
He's very good, though.
And Kobbie Mainoo is Kobbie Mainoo. So I think you've got midfield choice and options there for those 2. It'd be interesting who would play on the outside of that. Is it Mazraoui and Delo? Do you pick? It'd be interesting to see who we would pick in those positions. And then you've got in the front 3. You've got maybe that front 3 could suit, you having like a little deeper one, like a Bruno or a Xerxes. Or if you play it in the more traditional way that he plays it with the striker, then you've got, I think Garnacho and Rashford could thrive in that as well, with Højlund or Xerxes ahead of them. So I think we've got the players. Like, I do think we've got a talented squad. We need to fix it in certain positions and stuff, but the players are there, and that's why we were so disappointed this season with Ten Hag, because we feel like the squad was better.
Yeah. I think
it's mad though. Lenny Yoro didn't even get to play for him.
That is mad. He signed him and he never played for him. That's crazy, isn't it?
Wilfred Zaha.
Yeah. Did that happen? Did he never play under Fergie?
No, because Fergie signed him, but he didn't join until the summer.
Oh, that was it.
Was here.
That was it. That's mad, isn't it? Yeah, I wonder with Yoro. I agree with you on Maguire though. I think Maguire is the centre of a back 3 when needed. Obviously, I don't think he'd be first choice, but when needed, I think he could do a decent job there. Because based on the sort of the videos and the articles that I've seen about Amorim, it's those wider 2 of the sort of centre backs that do more of the passing and the creative stuff. And Martinez is exceptional at that, and we'll see whether De Ligt and Yoro can step up as well. But I think there's some decent things there. I also think, I genuinely believe, if we'd have got Ten Hag in now, and he'd been carrying on doing what he'd done at Ajax before, I think he would have a much better chance of succeeding at United than when we got him, because he was under the Glazers. There was still some real problems with that squad, Ronaldo and Sancho and these things to deal with. If you'd have brought him in straight from Ajax now, he probably could have done more than he did. I think he would have done more than he did. So I'm hopeful that Amorim's job itself is going to be easier because, like I said before, they've actually got a bit of an idea what's going on. Just a quick question, obviously. 21 is coming. It's just a matter of time. But I need to get it from you because obviously it's been a bit of a sad week. When is 21 coming, Adam?
21 is always coming.
That means nothing and it means everything all at once, isn't it?
I am Bart Simpson in that meme right now.
Yeah. Well,
say the line, Bart.
I know. And you have to say it as well, because otherwise, what is there? What's left? Literally, there's nothing left if you don't say the line.
Do you know what's amazing, though, yeah? I 21 is coming, so when we actually win it, yeah, do I get royalties or something like that? What happens with that?
If it gets picked up by some of the major outlets as the official slogan of the 21st title, I think you can probably get some money for it, yeah. Yeah. Even though you didn't know what you were doing when you did it.
Should I trademark it?
I think you should. I think people definitely wouldn't have a go at you on social media if you trademarked it. I think you'd get away with that. People would.
What
think
if now that I've
cool.
put it out there, somebody else does it?
Then that's the risk that you take, I think.
Can you bleep when I said it what I would potentially do?
Yeah, we'll definitely bleep that. Producer Ben's going to bleep that, don't worry.
I remember when some pesky little guy, yeah, he bought like www.adammacola.com and all these kind of things.
What?
And then he messaged me and went, "Yo, I got all these things. You want to buy them?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to buy them."
That's unbelievable.
And then he like just kept saying it, like, "Do you want to buy them?" And I was like, "No, don't want to buy it."
Did you never buy it?
And then eventually, I think they went, I've just rediverted them to your YouTube channel. Don't worry about it."
There you go. You won.
But like, I'm not sure it still works, but it was like, I did briefly own, I think, AdamMcKola.com or something, but then I gave it up, and then this happened. It was quite, because it's just like, it's just a bit plain, isn't it?
I'm just visiting AdamMcKola.com right now. We've got okay. Lots.
What's happening?
I'm just going to share my screen with you so you can see this, and we'll put a screenshot of this in the comments. Sorry, I know this is a bit of a tough edit for you, producer Ben, but I think it's worth seeing.
Show me.
How do I share my screen? Okay,
Oh, for fuck's sake!
This is what's become of Adam McKola TV.
Here we go. Oh my god!
We might have to blur some of this out. Producer Ben, you can see it on the screen behind me there. For anyone at home who wants to see it, that's the digital representation of you as a person, Adam. What do you make of that?
Maybe I should have bought it.
So you could be receiving the sweet, sweet ad money of whatever the hell this is.
What the fuck?
What are you going to do with this edit?
There you go.
It's
Look
not
at
secure,
that.
you know.
It's not secure. Shit, it's not secure. Right, I better get off that. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and we can go back to normal. What do you make of that?
Oh my god. On that sad note,
Should we call it a day?
that guy, I should have bought it.
That's the worst thing that's happened this week, isn't it, for you? Seeing that. That's AdamMcKola.com, mate. That's you.com.
That's bad, that is, isn't it?
It's really bad. I didn't think websites even could look like that anymore.
How do I buy that back?
I think they're making a hell of a lot of money. They will not sell it to you for love nor money.
They're not making.
Oh my god, I'm so glad I didn't scroll down. Oh my god, pure hardcore mode, mate. Honestly,
Oh, mate, I'm going back.
honestly, we're not going to show it. If you scroll down,
I'm pressing enter. I'm going.
it is.
Right, guys, I'm going to leave you all to it.
Scroll down. Go on AdamMcKola.com. Only if you're over 18 and scroll down. I
No,
cannot
don't
believe.
go on AdamMcKola.com. Stop
It's
it.
your website, mate. You've set this up.
Delete everything about this.
That's going to be up for me have to end this. This is unbelievable. Thank you very much for joining us. This has been Uncensored. Make sure you check out Manscaped. Link is in the description. Sorry, Adam. I mean, it's a bad week for you and it's just got way worse, hasn't it? This is terrible. Bloody hell. See you in a bit.
Yeah, I've got to admit, it is my website.